Humor me, if you would, by forgetting everything that you think you know about education. Because I'm here to be making a difference by bringing passion and meaning back into teaching. Hi, I'm Emma, and I am working with adults and children in outdoor education and traditional education settings to bring forth meaningful, fun, and lasting education. One of the ways that I do this is through story. Stories are probably the best way for minds to interpret and retain new knowledge and information. When I'm out in the woods teaching plant identification skills, for example, I'll have my class underneath a large tree and invite them to pick up a pine cone off the ground. And while they're observing it in their hands and their eyes and maybe smelling it, I'll be telling them a story. And the story is something about the animals in the Great Fire that swept through the land, and how all of the animals needed a place to hide. And only the smallest mouse could climb up into the tree and scurry into the pine cones to be safe from the fire. And as they're looking at the pine cone, I'll draw their attention closer to some details, such as the stem that looks like the tail of a mouse, and the two hind legs that are still sticking out, which are the wrapping bracts around the cone. These connections they're making between a story and the physical experience they're having in the moment make lasting neural connections that make learning fun and entertaining and more worthwhile. Because when we come back the following week, I'll invite a student to retell that story, and then I'll add in more information about using the bark or the leaf structure for identification, so we can bring in more facts and information. I grew up loving nature. I was always learning about the plants and the animals in the watersheds and the mountains around me wherever I went. And I've traveled extensively and made it a point to really understand the world as much as possible wherever I go. These days, I'm particularly interested in organic gardening. I also have started to pick up a passion for baking from scratch, and I also still love animals and have 2 dogs at the moment. When I'm teaching at a school, like the Waldorf School, I'm blending a lot of stories and hands-on project and experience into my lessons with the kids. And when I work with adults, it's a lot more facts and information, and also more technical projects such as fresh elderberry syrup preservation, digging up Oregon grape roots, or skimming the bark off certain shrubs to make tinctures, and foraging for wild foods and sautéing them in a delicious feast. I'm continuing to learn so that I can be a good teacher and be a good student, and I think a flexible mind that's able to adapt to the needs of my students and also with the times is important, but I also try to keep a firm grasp on the resilient skills and the traditional skills that I've learned from elders that I think are important for a future where humankind maintains its humanness. And I'm super lucky to work with people of all ages. I have some students that are in preschool, that are just learning how to tie their shoes and how to stand in a circle with their friends, and I am blessed to have friends and also students that are well into their 60s, and mentors that are also in their late 70s and 80s. So I hope that I continue to make a positive impact on my community. And if you want to learn more about me and my offerings, please feel free to connect with me. I would love to share more knowledge and information and also keep learning as well. Thank you.